MFA updates.
Good morning, สวัสดีค่ะ and welcome to MFA Update, a weekly program that focuses on Thailand's international affairs and activities. I am Kimmy or Kim Paniknisha Greberg, your host. And today we welcome Ms. Sudhitra Hiranyapruk, the president of the Maya Gotami Foundation and former ambassador of Thailand to the Netherlands. She will inform us about Dhamma Diplomacy. Very interesting, so stay tuned.
Good morning. My name is Sudhitra Hiranyapruk. I was former ambassador of Thailand to several countries. The last assignment was in the Netherlands. Currently, I'm president of the Maya Gotami Foundation, which is a non-profit organization, a Buddhist-based organization.
So, what is Dhamma Diplomacy? Can you please elaborate how this word and its meaning come into use?
We have to give credit to Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Don Paramat Vinay for having used this term to describe a visit to the Islamic Republic of Pakistan by Phra Ajahn Arya Wangso, abbot of Wat Pa Puttapot Haripunchai, Nai Paratupatam in Lamphun, at the invitation of the Embassy of Pakistan in Bangkok. That happened late 2019. But the term Dhamma Diplomacy has yet to be translated to Thai. However, Phra Ajahn Arya Wangso has given a clear definition to this term that I'd like to quote in summary as follows. Dhamma Diplomacy is the application and integration of the Dhamma principles, which are universal truth that exist in nature and was enlightened by Lord Buddha over 2,600 years ago, to encourage the spirit of all mankind so that they can reap the benefit of the Dhamma for their own life, for society, their country, without being stuck in the framework of their own local traditions, cultures, creeds, beliefs, or religions. The conduct of Dhamma diplomacy should lead to concrete results, benefiting equally and justly all concerned. It needs to be applied with loving kindness, compassion, goodwill, and equanimity that will create spiritual connections through Dhamma principles of respective religions with a common aspiration for peace. Upholding the power of Dhamma will give us opportunities to create universal or international religion for the benefit of humanity, and that will let all human beings walk together hand in hand towards the ultimate goal of peace. Unquote. I'd like to stress here that the key words here are loving kindness and mutual goodwill and world peace. So the ultimate objective of Dhamma diplomacy is peace, world peace, through spiritual or religious ties.
How relevant is Dhamma Diplomacy to foreign affairs, and can you please give some explanations?
Dhamma diplomacy is soft power that can contribute towards world peace, or regional peace, or even peace between two countries. It is a kind of soft power that brings two peoples together with no ulterior motive or self-interest. Unlike other kinds of soft powers, for example, cultural diplomacy or culinary diplomacy, that look for economic benefits. And in the past, the Thai Foreign Ministry seems to be a bit hesitant whenever the word Dhamma is mentioned. But if we seriously look at the current works of eminent Thai monks and Thai Sangha called Dhammatut, or Ambassador of Dhamma, we will surely realize that such ideas are rather narrow and not up-to-date at all. I can give you many examples of Dhamma diplomacy going back over 100 years ago and the present days. I believe the first person who really used Dhamma diplomacy was King Rama V. You know, when he had printing and publishing of Tipitaka in Siamese language. And he sent, that was in 1893, and the king of Siam, Tipitaka, was sent to several hundreds economic and academic institutions all over the world. I think that was the first hint of Dhamma diplomacy used as a means of foreign policy. As you know very well that in those days Siam was faced with so many difficult times, so much difficult times all around us, and we were the only independent country. So His Majesty was truly smart, very intelligently used this Dhamma diplomacy to protect Siam from our enemies. Thank you very much for his work. And then, of course, 100 years later, his niece, his royal granddaughter, Gromolong Narathiwat Ratnakarin, did the same. She followed by publishing Pali Tipitaka in Romanized letters. And these were gifted to several important foreign institutions as well. And importantly, a set was given to President of the World Court in The Hague, not as a religious document, but as an intellectual and legal wisdom for humankind. I was present there, so I know it was a very touching scene to be. Yes, and now of course we have many current Thai Sangha who have been working hard in the implementation of Dhamma diplomacy. One good example is Prajat Aryavangso, whom I mentioned, and he went to Pakistan in October 2019, and the purpose of the invitation for also was that Pakistan wanted him to help in the restoration of the Buddhist World Heritage Sites, which are many in Pakistan, as you know, because in the 2,000 years ago, that area was a cradle of Buddhist civilization. And although it's now an Islamic country, the country is full of ancient Buddhist sites, and the Pakistani government has been trying very hard to maintain them and promote them to attract foreign tourists. But because of the security situation, it has been difficult. So the Ajahn Aryavangso help was sought, and he went in there I would like to say as a follower. I mean, I went there with him, and I felt that he was a real diplomat in his dealing with the high-ranking officials from president down to the minister of religious affairs and to the World Bank, and his visit received so much press media attention. You know, so everywhere he went, he would be approached by the local people who saw him on television. And he also did something very, very special. He gave 2 brass bells of peace, which are now hung at the Museum of Peshawar and Taxila. And these are significant in that the sound from the bells are calling for world peace. And this is something as a Buddhist, you know, it's very significant. Because for Buddhists, bells are like jatiya. So, and he also agreed to help in the restoration of a very beautiful Parinibbana Buddha statue, very beautiful, almost 2,000 years ago, and also to send a plan for construction of meditation hall. So the Pakistan government really want to promote what they call religious tourism in their country.
So right now there is the historical site now?
Yes, everywhere in Pakistan and Afghanistan, all these beautiful Buddhist heritage that are well appreciated by the local people, because once they are well developed and a lot of tourists come in, their life will be better. You know, their livelihood, they can earn money, they can meet other people from other religion, and that it contribute to peace in that area. So this is the main reason for Ajah's visit. From his view, he would like to promote peace in that region, because that region was a Buddhist
tourist destination too.
Yeah, it should be as a religious tourist destination. Yes.
So looking at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, could you please elaborate about the role and mission of the ministry that related to the word Dhamma Diplomacy?
Actually, this word has we did not recognize it as such before, but I think more and more representatives, our diplomats in all over, they recognize this word now, realize that their work with Thai people is really conducting Dhamma diplomacy, because what they do gets to the heart of the Thais overseas. For example, when we attend a function at the temple, and the Thais there see the ambassador, that creates some very good feeling among the Thai that we have not forgotten them. That the diplomats, the ambassadors care for them, want to be with them, you see, and to follow how they are doing in the countries, and that's very important, and that's Dhamma. That means that the ambassadors or the representatives, they do have Dhamma in the heart. They would like to link spiritually with all the Thai people. And I noticed recently during the COVID time, the embassies have been doing a lot to reach out to Thais living in their countries. For example, I cite just one example, the embassy of Thailand in Norway, Oslo. The ambassador Kantimon, he set up a program online, talking to Thai people there, having monks to preach, and they zoom in and they listen on Facebook, and they converse with them, with the embassy staff, and that's very important, because then in that way the embassy knows how the Thais living so far away, how they are facing the situation, how they're coping with the COVID situation. So this is something very spiritual, I feel, and that is well appreciated by the Thais living in the country and in Iceland, where the ambassador is also accredited. So this kind of thing, I think our people, our representatives are now using technology to conduct Dhamma diplomacy. And what I wish the ministry would recognize this fact and recognize the activities of the Thai monks, Thai Sangha abroad, and give support in concrete terms. Firstly, ministry should try to showcase Dhamma diplomacy, because we are a Buddhist country, we are Muslim country, we are Christian country, Thailand. We have so many religions in our country, and so it means that the people have Dhamma. They know what is spiritual connections. So it's very easy. It's an asset of our country, and the foreign ministry should use this asset to lead the world towards world peace. We can use Dhamma diplomacy, not even doing ourselves, but using the help of other people, of the Thai Sangha, Pracharya Bangso, and Thai Sangha in India, Nepal, who have been doing a lot to help the people there, without asking anything in return, not to promote Buddhism at all, but to help them as people, as human beings, because we are in better situation than the local people. Help them, giving them medical treatment and other things, So this kind of things, there are people doing that already on behalf of the foreign ministry. So the foreign ministry should at least uphold this Dhamma diplomacy as a tool of foreign policy, of foreign conduct, of conducting foreign policy, which has nothing to do with economic interest, political interest, just humanitarian interest for world peace.
Oh, thank you for joining me in this program.
Thank you so much for this opportunity.
And that was Ms. Sujitra Hiranyapurk, the president of the Maya Gotami Foundation and former ambassador of Thailand to the Netherlands. So we have learned about Dhamma diplomacy and how relevant is Dhamma diplomacy in today's foreign affairs. That's it for MFA Update today. Don't forget to follow the YouTube channel MFA Thailand and Facebook page FM88 Radio Thailand English for more updates. I have to leave now, so see you next week. Stay safe, stay healthy. สวัสดีค่ะ
MFA updates